All right, Meg, I talked about it many times. I like LMNT. I like it in still water and mixing the powder in there, but I really love it over ice with some bubbles.
Yeah, so they now have their sparkling LMNT. It comes in the same flavors. So grapefruit salt is one of my favorites. Also, I think you have watermelon.
I do like the watermelon.
Salt, that one's really good.
And there's a citrusy one.
Yeah, so they have all the same flavors, but now it comes in a can of bubbles. You can go snag that. If you're not and you just want to try LMNT, you can get a free sample pack with any drink mix purchase by going to drinkelement.com/thedrop.
Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
It's Robbie with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop, our weekly podcast.
Like, I don't want
a real struggle.
I'm trying to work on my posture.
Right, I know. That's funny that you mentioned that. I was just thinking that. I was like, I slump in these things, but
Yeah.
try to keep it real.
Okay.
We're still here at the house studio. Matter of fact, we just found out that when they ripped open the walls that we're going to need some help with our HVAC system. May have to replace that. So
we'll be starting a GoFundMe.
if you want to give those, what do you call it on YouTube when you
Monies.
thanks or something
Power,
like that?
or like a power tip or something.
Yeah, whatever. Feel free, or if you're a local runner that happens to do HVAC, give us a ring.
I feel like if we threw that out there, if we did a work day and had people just work on the,
Just show us what you do.
yeah, take your fans to work day. We take
I
Believe in
like
the Run
it.
fans to our work and have them do work.
It's a good spin.
It's an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is one of those things. It's like the first estimate for the project was very reasonable. Mm-hmm. We're just going to tear down these walls. We're going to put this. We're going to do that. Put some electric in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Great. It's going to be this. So far, we've already exceeded that by double. And it looks like we're going to continue.
That's like
to roll.
when you buy a car and they're like, it starts at $40,000. And they're like, but it doesn't have anything inside of it. You can't drive it. And then it ends up being like 80.
Yeah. All the add-ons, that's where they get you.
Yeah.
You like floor mats.
Reminds me of that Seinfeld episode when Putty's like, yeah, that's all BS. Like he's like Seinfeld. He's like, all right, tell me the truth here, Putty. What do I actually need on this thing? Yeah, that's all fake.
Like the undercarriage coating.
Yeah. That's actually probably my favorite Seinfeld episode because that's when Kramer tries to go past the E, like the bottom line. He's like, the
Just
guy
rolling.
driving.
I could
with
see
him.
you doing that.
Mr. Kramer, I've never felt so alive.
Speaking of Kramer, he was just on the Today Show doing the mea culpa for,
Really? 20 years later?
18, I believe it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't familiar with that whole thing and his disappearance, but yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, I just thought that had just gone away eventually. Like no one remembered.
I think, obviously what he did was, it was bad.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like, you have to go on the TV and you have to apologize and you have to apologize to everybody and you tell them that you've worked on your problems and it's the same, you get the same speech every time.
Does he have a movie or something coming out?
That I don't know.
That has to be the only thing.
Yeah, like, why would you bring this
Right.
up publicly otherwise?
I think if AI starts taking over though, if somebody does something wrong, it's just going to do the same script every time.
And you
It's
can
like,
just blame it on AI if you do something wrong.
That's true.
say
I'd be
that-
like,
that
that was
wasn't
not me.
Yeah. That whole audience was fake.
But it also made me think about like, I'm sure each one of us has had a bad moment or not thought something through. And his was like, I'm not comparing this to him. His was like,
Right.
in fuego.
You just don't.
But like, can you like? It was funny because who's the comedian who liked exposing himself to women?
Louis C.K.
Yeah, Louis C.K. He was like, everybody knows my thing now.
Yeah.
He was like, how would you like everybody to know your thing? And I'm kind of like, it is one of those situations where like we probably all mess up. Mm-hmm. We probably all don't mess up on camera or record it.
Or we get Carl to edit it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to say, we
have
actually do.
we have a
on
stopgap.
camera all the time.
Does Carl even edit anything out? Carl, do you edit things out?
No, I just see him laughing over there all the time, like chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. And I don't think he's laughing at the jokes. I think he's laughing at, I'm going to blackmail these motherfuckers someday.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Coming out of the gate hot today.
I mean, I've already given Carl tons of content that he could roast me with.
This might sound crazy, but I was thinking when you were talking about bringing the workers into our office, when I was in youth group, like in high school, and kids went on missions trips, they would have this day where you could, it sounds insane if I think about it, especially depending on the kid, you could bid on the person to like do basically slave labor for you.
What?
Like, yeah, for real. Like you
bought the person for the day.
You bought the person for a day where they can come and do like chores at your house. And like and you literally go to the front of like the room and they're
they
like
get to look you over.
Yeah. So it's like obviously like probably the creepers are like bidding higher on the hot girls in the youth group.
Oh, this is male and female.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, if you think about that,
how old are these?
Yeah, what age is this?
Yeah, how old are these youths?
15.
Oh my God.
That's
Right
so
now, we're in
weird.
that creeper wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, it could, and obviously
I get her for the whole day.
Obviously, I was looking pretty good back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were getting high bids?
Oh, yeah.
Were you Pretty Woman?
Like $80 for a whole day of work.
Did Richard Gere bid on you?
What did you have to do for $80?
I don't know. I just like had to pull weeds.
Guess you
and,
weren't that
like,
pretty.
Yeah. I just had to like pose for some photos. Like that's it. Just me with a garden.
You know what I would do? I would have gotten you, and then I would have gotten a big tub of like Hawaiian tropic oil. And like, let's start lathering up.
Yeah, I had to go in a pit and put the lotion on.
There's a lot of places
skin.
I can't reach, son.
Why? Why did we get here so fast?
I don't know, but I didn't even think about that tonight. I thought that's pretty weird.
Yeah,
That's super
Pretty
weird.
weird thing.
that is weird because there's the adult that came up with it was like, hey, I've got an
Yeah.
idea. I thought of this.
Dude.
What if we auction the children off?
I mean, and if you just had hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, you could just outbid anyone.
Okay, so
You
when
would
you
go
went to
full
these bidding
Epstein.
things and you had to stand up, did you get did you dress up for it? Like, were you like, I want to look my best?
No, it was just whatever.
Hair and makeup
whatever
beforehand.
skateboarding clothes I was wearing at the time. Yeah. It was quite an interesting thing. But anyways, so hopefully I don't have to do that anymore.
I would buy my enemies' children and then make them
Oh, like do
turn
real
them
hard
against,
labor?
No, I would turn them against their
Oh,
parents.
you brainwash them?
Yeah, bring them over.
No way.
You're like, what? They make you do stuff
A
like
re-education camp.
Yeah.
For
that? It'd be like Russia and the Ukraine.
Well, dude, just start going to some sort of evangelical church and you can start doing that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we're here.
Yeah. Are we? Feels like we're somewhere else.
okay. I've got to give Robbie a little bit of a compliment.
Okay, I'm open. I'm all ears.
I feel like you are on a consistent streak of training that I don't think I've ever seen this consistent, like determined, meaningful
think so?
training.
After he decided
Dude,
to give up.
it's been like 3 weeks,
Okay.
which may be true.
I mean, in this game of things, like, knock on wood,
I think the whole
there's no injury.
yeah, I think that's the main thing is that I haven't rolled my ankle. Yeah.
And you just seem to I think you're making a real effort.
I mean, I'm not. I'll be honest. I just do whatever it says that day.
That's something.
Yeah.
That takes discipline.
I will say, looking back, I did have a little bit better training in February, but I
What
think I'm
happened in
doing
February?
more. What's that?
What happened in February? What derailed it? Or was
Oh,
that
nothing derailed
training
it. I was
and then
just-
Boston?
Yeah, it was just leading up to Boston.
All right.
No, I'd say I'm being pretty consistent though. Yeah, that's fair.
You also had a big day yesterday.
Big days. Oh yeah,
Let's talk about that.
the Legionnaire launch.
Dude.
I'll be full disclosure. When Fractal said they went to do a Legionnaire with Robbie Raccoon, I thought you're making a horrible you'll never financially recover from this.
And they're almost like all sold out. People love it.
Yeah, they basically, they sold out on their end, I think, in 4 hours. And then on our end, they sold half. There's just large sizes left.
I don't think Americans are used to sizing their hats.
Yeah, they definitely aren't.
Right, when I say when North Americans, mostly in the USA.
If you do ball, like I know my
Aren't
ball
they
cap
adjustable?
size.
Like, can't I get a large one and just tighten it
You
up?
could, yeah.
Okay.
It's still a little bit.
It's if you want to look like a
Bigger.
chef's hat.
Okay, they're definitely not selling it now. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, I guess Carl will probably put a thing up on the screen. We mentioned it last week.
I know that it's almost sold out and everything, but I still did video footage of you. I'm still going to put together.
I forgot about that.
That video, because it's just gold.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I had any doubts about it, it was more that Legionnaire.
Yeah.
It's a hideous look on myself.
It's horrible.
I look like my head does not need curtains.
No one's head needs curtains.
You don't look bad in it though. Like
I do feel like I can pull it off in a way.
You can. And I think our reviewer, Alex Walker, can pull it off really well.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
has a lot of tattoos.
My face just doesn't peekaboo from those shades well.
Yeah. Here's Johnny type
Yeah,
look.
it's pretty much what you get.
Meg, I just have to ask you,
Okay.
how insane do you think it is? Because
The hat?
the whole thing.
Oh, it's all nuts.
Because you were so angry last year when people were buying this hat, which
it
I
wasn't
told
Robbie.
you I was going to make this hat cool, and you were like, stop.
Yeah.
No, don't do it.
I tried to prevent it and I couldn't. I mean, honestly, props to you for making this a thing.
And I have to, I give
I'm
him
not
credit
mad
that he
about it.
stuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there was times where, I don't know, like I wasn't sure it was going to catch on. I mean, it's one thing to get like 3 or 4 faster bastards
Yeah.
doing it. It's another thing to, sell out.
It is. So that's cool, and I'm excited for it. I'm going to be rocking mine all summer long.
I expect this weekend I'm going to bring it to your shindig.
Yeah.
But because,
You have to.
kind of have to. Yeah. And I'm not there to impress the ladies because Megan's not going to be there.
No, there's...
So I can look as ridiculous as possible.
Yeah, you can absolutely.
I was thinking about chaps for the trail run.
Ooh. I mean, you could do it probably.
How come nobody's made running chaps? Because think about it. You want shorts when you're running, but then you hit the trails and there's those sticker bushes and you want to protect your legs. That's when you get running chaps.
I mean, Satisfy has to be thinking about it. It has to be in their note sketchbook.
Can you imagine running chaps, Legionnaire, no shirt?
I can imagine it. I think it could work. A couple of 6-shooters on the side.
Dude, Tracksmith made like a nice, brief underwear, like the Speedo style.
Oh, yeah.
You put that with the chaps and the Legionnaire hat. Nobody's going to mess with you in the woods.
Man. Yeah. That's like Brokeback Mountain Part 2 coming up.
I can't quit you.
Thanks. So, yeah, that was the whole thing. That was cool. I was very flattered by people buying. If you bought it, thank you.
I'm gonna say it right here. You're gonna hear first. We're gonna make the raccoon a sticker.
Oh, okay.
Someone mentioned that.
I think that's a good idea.
But you're gonna be able to get your Robbie Raccoon Believe in the Run sticker. I don't know if we'll just tuck it into stuff when people make purchases.
Yeah.
Or what, but we're gonna have a limited run of that.
That's
too.
the nice thing about stickers; they're almost free.
You know what? I thought that until I started buying them.
Oh, okay.
Thomas found a way to make them not free.
Yeah,
I can tell you for sure.
They're at least that's the thing. Like
It's a line item. now.
I saw people.
Nice.
It is pretty much. But I saw like in the old days, you go up and they'd have free stickers at the counter and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's always that. And then I started seeing people charging like $3-5 for a sticker. I'm like, that's ridiculous. And then I started buying stickers. I was like, oh, they're not really making much on those stickers. Like per piece, they're ridiculous. I mean, you can try. We use Sticker Mule,
Yeah.
which is stickermule.com. And if you buy enough, you get their hot sauce.
Oh yeah. I actually have that. I haven't opened it yet because I'm stocked up on hot sauces.
It's not my favorite. It's not super hot. Doesn't have a ton of heat, and it is a little sweet.
Yeah. Which, by the way, there's a woman. Do you remember I was talking before the Boston Marathon 5K?
Yes,
I was talking to
with the white Legionnaire.
What's that?
With the White Legionnaire?
No, not with the White Legion. Wait, was she? No, it was just like another woman in the crowd who was like, "Oh, you're with Believe in the Run," and
she has a hot sauce company.
No, but she was like, "Oh, I listen to the podcast all the time, and you mentioned how you went to Eleuthera in the Bahamas. Well, apparently she goes there like once a year with some friends, or one of her friends even lives there on the island there." And I said to her, "There's this hot sauce that they make there. It's called Pirate's Revenge, and it's my favorite hot sauce."
Did she get it for you?
Of all time. Paul, hold on.
And that's not fair.
I said it's my favorite hot sauce of all time. It's impossible. They only sell it on the island. Like, you can't even. It's made by this one guy who owns like a surf shop there. And I only got one bottle when I was there, and I've been out of it forever. And she remembered me, remembered this conversation, and DM'd me on Instagram like a couple weeks ago. I was like, "I got my friends to bring back 2 bottles for you." And I was like, "Dude, you're amazing." I paid her and all for them.
I'm seeing a trend here. Robbie says, "Hey, you know what I really like? Where are you from? Oh, you're from Austin? I really like ribs from this one place."
Well, I also wanted to give a shout out to I guess that also happened. Ray Zahab, who we had on the podcast before. He's an ultra runner and explorer, and he's done some stuff with.
How would you like that to be your title? Ultra runner explorer.
Seriously, he did some stuff with Norda, and he has a coffee company called Capic One. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'll put a link in the description. But like, coffee just showed up at my house. Because remember that one podcast where I was like,
was it hazelnut coffee? I hope
it wasn't. It's much better. It's actually really good coffee. I have grinded it, yeah, processed it, and drunk it. Damn it, and it was all good. But anyways, so I wanted to give a shout out to her for grabbing me that hot sauce. I'll let you, dude. It's the best. I'll bring it this weekend.
All right, I'd like to try it.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your second favorite that we can readily get? Hot sauce.
Well, there's a hot sauce that they make in Cape May, New Jersey. It's this brand called Hank Sauce.
Okay, but there's a lot of variations before we get into it. I prefer heat, but not the chemical like heat that one just feels like you got blasted with.
Sure.
Like, but I like a really hot sauce.
Yeah.
Like habanero.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Where are you on?
I like that. I think you would. I don't like where it stays with you for like 5 minutes, but a minute or so if you feel it. So the one from the Bahamas, that's like I think it's a habanero or ghost pepper.
Oh, it's in the Bahamas?
The first one I was talking about. Yeah.
The Pirates one?
Yeah.
I can get a ton of that.
That's what I'm saying. You can
Our
probably
boy is
get
import-export in the Bahamas.
Yeah. I can't remember if you can only get it on Eleuthera though. Anyways, but the Hank sauce is more of like a flavorful hot sauce. So it's like a little bit hot, but it just goes with everything. So that's in New Jersey. I think you can get it like around here.
I don't like the ones that have fruit in them, like the mango hot sauce. It's got to be, I don't like sweet. I like heat.
Okay.
But not the kind of heat that destroys your food.
I kind of like the sweet.
That's why I'm wondering. Hot sauces are very nuanced.
But what about hot honey?
Yeah.
I love hot honey.
I'm kind of over the hot honey.
Oh, man.
We got it.
It was pretty hype like a few years ago. It's still solid though.
Yeah.
At 312, isn't that the name of the pizza place?
Yeah.
It was perfect there. But that is like a spongy crust. And it just all works together.
Yeah.
I feel like on the thinner crust pizza, it becomes too heavy. Like it's rich and heavy.
I just dip your crust in it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's some of my favorite hot sauces, but I'm always down to try more, if you know what I'm saying.
Robbie's going to leave his address in the show notes this week.
Yeah.
Just ship it.
I mean, I think that being on hot ones would be fun.
Yeah, I would love to do that. We should do a runner's version of that.
With the shoes? Oh, yeah.
Or just, I was like, put hot sauce on a shoe and lick it off or something?
No, but you could do the thing where you have somebody review a shoe and they have to get through it with the hot sauces.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea.
All right, first check-in. If you're going to do any summer racing, there's a couple things you may want to think about, like Megan, who just won the Baltimore 10 miler. First off, you're going to want to make sure that you don't go out too fast. It's a rookie mistake. And people think that there's such a short period of time that you have to like secure your spot in the race. But the fact is, especially maybe in a 5K, you just throw it to the wind and go out as fast as you can. But if you're talking about longer distances, 10Ks, half marathons, you have time to make up, warm up, and then pass people. So don't be too anxious. You got to know, it feels so good to run a negative split race. And I'm guilty of it. I've gone out too fast. But when you do it right, it just feels amazing.
Did you see that someone's mad or upset that we are holding shoes in our reviews because the outsole has been on the pavement?
Dirty Baltimore streets.
What does that even mean?
Like, you know how your shoes are on a table right now? Probably, that's disgusting.
It is.
It is. We can wipe it down.
Yeah.
But they were like, in the last, we did the first thoughts on the Noosa Try.
And someone was complaining in like the shoe review video that you hold the shoe.
Yeah.
Meg, pull up the comment.
It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't. And
people need to stop saying what comes into their heads. Unless it's on this podcast, then we can do that.
What was funny was after the comment, somebody said, yeah, I feel the same way after I drop a pancake on the garage floor and I eat it. And somebody went into the Faster Bastards like chat and they're like, okay, which one of you guys is eating pancakes off the garage floor?
Why does someone have pancakes in a garage?
I think that was the whole.
Oh, okay.
Like, just
joke. Like,
that you said something weird.
Yeah.
We're going to say something weird back.
You could have pancakes in a garage if you were having a
youth group auction.
A fundraiser. Yeah, I was just going to say. A breakfast to raise money.
Youth group sale and pancakes.
I mean, pancake breakfasts it's like spaghetti dinners. It's so cheap and you can raise a ton of money.
Okay, so he said, let me preface this by saying, I love the stuff y'all do, ... But do you realize how gross it is that you just keep touching the used sole of the shoes in these videos? Like, is there a way to get an unworn shoe or something? No idea, but it feels so weird.
It's interesting.
And then someone said, I feel the same way about pancakes when I eat them after dropping them on the pavement in my garage.
I like that. That's pretty awesome.
But I think the interesting thing is, here's the problem. For us to review the shoe, we have to run in it.
Mm. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, I doubt the companies want to send us a fresh pair just to hold while we review. Maybe people don't understand that we're not a store. We don't have like an inventory of shoes. We get a shoe, we run in it, we review it, and we hold it.
Yeah. Also, people are very angry at me and my love for cushioned shoes recently. Someone wrote my name in all caps with a lot of exclamation points.
They want you to stay in your lane.
Yeah. So apparently I shouldn't review any shoe that's not a Max Cushion shoe because I guess we should just review the shoes that we like.
Yeah. We don't come to your job, knock the broom out of your hand. So.
I like that.
Yeah. I stole that from Chappelle's show.
Yeah, you're assuming that they have a broom in their hand during work. That's kind of an insult. Yeah. Except for all work is
I was literally just quoting Chappelle's show. Yeah, so that was no knock towards anyone holding a broom.
I've swept up in front of the run all the time because we have people just drop stuff right in front of the place. Guess who's going to be doing reviews? Speaking of which, I mean, we have a full group of reviewers. I was trying to think of a better vocabulary word for group of.
Ooh, what do you call a group of reviewers?
It's not a gaggle?
It could be a gaggle.
Murder of shoes.
All right. I like that.
Yeah. Carl is going to be taking on two shoes. The Kayano 31.
Okay.
Light stability, or I guess it is modern stability. And the Hurricane 24.
Yeah. What an honor.
No, actually, guess what? These are... I'm kind of excited for him. The Kayano looks pretty good. And feedback from Sam Sheldon is it's phenomenal.
It's always been a pretty solid shoe.
Yeah.
I mean, not always. I would say the last couple
version,
years.
The last version was really good.
I think ever since they got rid of Kayano Light and kind of smashed it all together into the Kayano.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's no longer a transformer lame shoe in disguise. I guess not even in disguise. Yeah. But
both have like really good foam.
Yeah. I went to, when we were talking about the I don't remember what we were just talking about, but I was thinking about
pancakes on the floor.
Yeah, something like that.
Knocking brooms.
I think it was like an idea we had for something. Anyways, the other idea that I meant to bring up, I brought it up to you a couple weeks ago, but I meant to talk about it on the podcast, was doing a roast of runner, like all the influencer types or like reviewers get
like
together
and we just
roast each other to death.
After I watched the
Tom Brady
one, I don't understand why people do it.
I don't know. I think we should do it. Herms is in.
Yeah. I think there's so many. I think that would be a great way for us to make lifelong enemies.
Yeah, probably.
Who do you want to roast?
Like, I think you could take it.
Yeah.
Herms could take it.
I'm pretty self-aware of all my flaws, so.
No, but that's the thing. You get hit with one you weren't aware of, and then it just burrows a hole in your head like a brain-eating virus.
Does that bother you that you have things about you that other people find annoying that you don't know are annoying?
How do you know that you have those if you don't know?
I feel like everyone does.
I
know there's things that I do that people are probably like, I'm not going to tell them that. And that's kind of like sad in a way, but also I'm glad they don't.
Yeah. But I think that there's differences. Like there's certain things. I mean, we all work together. I know that we get on each other's nerves.
Yeah. Never. Never.
But but at the same time, I think that's part of friendship is that when you know those things about someone and you know that if you mention that to them, it's probably not going to be helpful. Like there's certain things. Like if I felt like you're doing a behavior that if I mention, you could change and maybe be better off.
Yeah.
Then I would talk to you about it. But if it's just something that's like you,
yeah,
then
you're
just going to leave that alone.
Better change the subject before I start getting into it.
Yeah.
But that would be, I mean, I feel like that could take us all down a notch though, maybe.
I don't need to go down a notch.
No?
Nah.
That's why we're all here, because we're insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
probably
I mean, if anyone was going to host that, I guess it would be Laura Green.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like her humor is witty and clever, but it's also, there's anger behind it.
She could host a roast.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. She could destroy all of us. I don't think she would, but maybe she would.
She would.
Laura, let us know if you're into this.
Yeah.
idea.
What's the price tag for a Laura Green hosted roast?
I wonder if Kafuzi could roast anyone. I don't see him being able to.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, I think that he would actually be lethal.
You think so?
Yeah, because that's the thing. He seems so chill and nice that you would get hit with him and you'd be like, I never saw it coming. At Two Brute, like you'd be pulling that knife out real slow and be like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Or he could just be like, I don't want to participate in this. This is a negative.
That's
That's what he would do 100%.
Yeah.
Well, now we just need to find out something to blackmail him with and then make him do it.
He'd be like the nicest roaster. He'd be like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kenny Rogers roaster.
I think he has stuff. You can't, it's like the smooth water on the top.
Yeah.
Currents underneath.
Then we'll get in, I don't know. We'll think about it.
I think one of the toughest people to roast would be Megan.
Robbie's like, nah.
Let me check my list to see if any of these ideas would work. I think you're right, actually.
Well, here's the other thing.
We just had to like make fun of her for running a lot or something.
Or being, awesome. The problem with Megan also is that she just doesn't care. Like I spin on stuff. Like I sit there and can't turn my brain off. Megan, I'm like, could I just borrow your brain? Like, it's like, she really doesn't care. She's not competitive with like when she goes to line up for a race, she's not worried about anybody else is there. She's just like,
Is that true?
No, that's not true at all. Like, we could talk about the 10 miler and how I was like literally standing there and there's these two people decked out in Under Armour and I'm like, these are pros.
Oh, actually, let's talk about this.
This chick's going to crush me.
Okay. And then obviously
I guess they just decked out some people in Under Armour gear.
She thought they were pros.
They were not pros.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but at the start line, I think, I'm looking around, like wondering.
Yeah, you're just measuring, but you're not like, you don't go into fear mode or anything.
No, No, but I think that the competitiveness clicks in right there on the start line.
Yeah. Did you watch the drone footage of the Baltimore 10 miler?
Where was that at?
It was in Instagram.
On Instagram.
But it was crazy.
On our Instagram?
No, just general.
Baltimore 10 miler posted it.
What was interesting about it was you got to see everybody take off from the start. And you'll see faces that you recognize and stuff.
Sure.
And Megan was about 50, 60 people back.
Oh.
And if you know the results of the race, Megan, how did you do at the 10 miler?
I was, as Thomas would say, the first female.
Oh, that was the best. Someone was like, you came in first place? I said, for a female.
Messed up.
There's like this huge group of people in the after party, and they're like, "Well, congrats, you got first place." And he goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
Yeah.
And he goes, "For a female."
She was like 7th overall.
No lies were told, but confidence was ruined.
Now, man, what a great day for the 10 miler though. That course is tough, and we had the best weather that I've ever recalled on that day. It was like, what was the start temp, Meg?
I think it was 50s,
high 50s.
maybe high 50s. Creeped into the 60s, which is definitely the coolest day we've ever had there.
Most of the time, you're standing in the corral and you
sweating.
are dripping. Now
Yeah.
they moved the start from the normal spot. Did you like or dislike that?
So I hated that's untrue. I didn't hate the finish, but I didn't like the finish as much. But they moved an out and back on that course. That was like literally the worst part of it.
Oh, so that's what they did. They got rid of that one after
nice.
Lake
There
Montebello?
there was no out and back there, which I felt like was worth it, even though the finish line was even more uphill than it used to be.
But the problem is that out and back had an uphill as well.
Yeah. So that was gone. I had such a good time because even though, like Thomas said, I did start kind of back a little bit. I think by half mile, quarter mile in, I was the lead female. And so there's a bike pacer with you the whole time, which is fun. And then when people see the bike pacer and they see you, they know you're the lead female. And there's a lot of parts of that course where you pass, like there's out and backs where you pass the crowd. And so I had cheers like the whole time because people were just like, oh, first female. So that's always like really, it's really fun. It's also really terrifying because there's a turnaround point at mile 5 and there was a girl who was maybe 15 seconds behind me.
Oh, really?
And I knew it. And I was like, I was trying to do all of these psychological things where I'm like, oh, look, I'll look like I'm happy and smiling and throw my hands up like this is an easy day. But like inside, I was like, I can't go much faster than this.
It was crazy because I was really happy with myself because I had to get 10 miles in. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I chased Megan around and other people around with the camera. And I was able to get my 10 miles in. But on top of that, so I see Megan and normally like she has such a commanding lead that I'm like really relaxed. And I'm like, oh, she's got it in the bag. This time, like when you came back and I think you were maybe mile 8 or so. And there was a woman who was probably 75 yards behind you. And I was like, oh no. And she didn't look like she was wrecked or anything, but I knew that they were coming up on the hills to go back into the thing. And I was like, if Megan just stays strong, she'll be able to drop her.
Yeah.
But
which is funny because on the hills, I was like, oh, this is bad. I was like, I'm going to get caught. I was like, I can't run fast up these hills. But I guess the hills crushed everyone. So
plus you had them cheater shoes on.
I did. I was wearing the Evo ones.
What'd you think?
They're street legal.
Yeah, they are. I was deciding between those and the Alpha Fly because I love the Alpha Fly and went with the Evos and really shockingly liked them.
Oh, why shocking? Why?
I've never been a huge fan of the Adidas Pro shoe. I just felt like the energy rods were a little too harsh under my foot. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I couldn't feel them as much in the Evo.
Okay.
And I just felt like, well, first of all, it's like 4 ounces. So it like weighs nothing.
Yours might be under 4 ounces.
Yeah. And then the foam just felt really, really responsive, like really bouncy. Like it felt like it felt like cheating almost. Like it felt like I was getting a boost from the shoes.
Okay.
Which I guess is the intent.
Yeah. So you finished in 102.37, 6:16 pace. That's pretty good because that's a hilly course.
Yeah. How much elevation's on that course?
I don't recall. I think it's like 600 maybe.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So Boston in total has 800, right?
Yes.
So this is 10 miles with 600.
Yeah.
You're basically just running the Newton Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
And the worst ones are in the last mile, which is always really fun.
I think mentally this is such a tough race. It feels like it's going uphill on the way out. It feels like it's going uphill on the way back. And then as you're running towards the finish, you've got several hills before the finish.
There was one very cool, memorable part for me is when I did that big climb up back into the park, and then you do like that little out and back thing, whatever. And the bike pacer
Safety
got
setting.
on his walkie-talkie, and I could hear him, and he was like, "Yeah, we're still alone." And he was like, "Yeah, white shirt, black shorts." And I was like, "Okay, I think this means I might have it." But there was still like half a mile to go.
My favorite part was you were wearing. So she's wearing like a short sleeve shirt, just white, nothing on it.
Adidas.
Yeah, but it was like a t-shirt looking.
Yeah.
Right.
You looked like you were going out for like a jog, not like racing. It wasn't your typical.
Thomas was like, people probably thought you were going to go out there and run 8-minute miles.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So I was trying to find you in that video, and I like couldn't see.
No, she's wearing like civilian clothes. I have
a white. It's one of my favorite shirts. So it's we got it when we were in Berlin with Adidas, and it's like got a bunch of holes in it. So it's like very light.
People were asking what it is. It's an Audi Zero shirt, right?
Yeah. I tried to find it on their website and I couldn't. I don't even know if they're selling it right now, but it's not just a t-shirt. It is a performance shirt, and it's got a bunch of holes in it. So it's very light and breathable.
But at a distance, it looks like you're wearing a white t-shirt.
Yeah.
You don't like tight shorts. You wear kind of like loose.
They're Tracksmith.
Yeah, but they're
speed shorts.
Speed shorts, but they're not like, you don't look at them and go race day.
Right. They're not like tights.
Yeah.
So,
Also not wearing buns ever.
Yeah.
Just like a weird name in a way. I get it.
Yeah.
It's descriptive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like whoever came up with that name, they're like, what do you see? Buns.
That's it.
I would actually bet you that it is just slang that the track people came up with. Like, oh, you're going to wear the ones where you can see your buns.
Yeah. Why don't they call a singlet gun? Why don't you call it guns?
Ooh, we should start calling them that.
Yeah.
Get our guns.
So you finished in 11th overall. Pretty nice. A 16-year-old finished in 10th, who was, by the way, from where I was born, Lebanon, PA.
A boy from Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
That kid was impressive.
Oh, really?
He again looked like somebody who just came off the basketball court, pretty much.
There was also like a 7-year-old kid who ran a 650 pace.
Are you serious?
I might be thinking of the 7-year-old.
He was in front of me. He was like this big, and I was like, I got to get around this kid at the start because like he's not going to go very fast. And he ended up running an average pace of like 650. I think one of our friends said they finished right around him.
No way.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think that's the kid I was thinking of, not the one from Lebanon. But there was a guy that, Robbie, he looked like he was about Rye, a little taller than Rye.
Yeah.
And he was wearing like, kid.
Yeah.
Not like running kit, like kid.
Oh, he's actually 13.
Wear. Yeah.
He was 13.
Oh.
But he ran a 6:48 pace.
Yeah. He was tiny.
Wow.
Also, yeah. Can you imagine doing that at that age? No. Crazy.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, and you guys had the band. We had the Believe in the Run banner still hanging up there.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they still use that. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chris is cool about that.
Is this the kid?
Corrigan. Is he wearing blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. He's wearing an Orioles hat too. I like that.
Yeah. Represent.
Nice. Well, congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah.
I did not run the race because I was too cheap.
Did you know that it was a Faster Bastards female sweep of the podium?
I did. Yeah, I saw that. That was amazing.
Lizzie Royer was, when I saw her at the same place where I saw Meg, where I was like, oh, it's the
second place was coming close.
And then Lizzie was like in 5th place. Mm-hmm. She, between the museum and the safety city, worked her way into 2nd place.
It was so impressive on those hills at the end. Crazy.
Yeah, that is impressive. That's awesome. Nice day for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like maybe going. It was like one of those things where I do love that race, but I was just like,
yeah.
I don't know. I was on the fence about it.
Well, you missed the perfect day because it was the most beautiful.
It was nice. And I didn't even get out on my long run till Sunday afternoon. I did it right in the nick of time before the weekend was over.
Nice.
I was like, I kept thinking I was going to do it like Saturday morning when it was like super nice out and cool, which is when I should have done it. And then Sunday morning, I was like, I got to do it. So I just went out to the county.
I was going to say, are you running trails or roads?
I did the NCR trail, which is like, I never run that trail, but I was like, I need some shade in my life.
I was wondering if you were prepping for Broken Arrow.
No, I probably should be. But the whole thing is like, I'm running it with my kids.
Oh, right,
so
right.
We're not,
You're not racing it
I'm
or
not
anything.
racing it.
Well, I said to Lo today, I said, hey, we were talking about the race. I said, it's just 11K. It's not going to be that bad.
Well, also, we're going straight up a mountain. No one's running that.
Right. And then I said, the only thing you got to do is make sure that Rye doesn't beat you.
Yeah. Dude, he better beat. Yeah.
We'll be so upset.
Yeah. That would be sad.
Rye's waiting at the bottom. No.
Don't get altitude sickness.
It's
not that high up though.
I'm actually getting really excited for this. I've got to start learning how to be like more positive going into stuff. Cause it's the same thing. Like, when you did the thing in Venice, it's like, I didn't want to do it cause we're coming off of Boston.
Yeah.
And I was like, then I had a little FOMO for it. Same thing as steps when you were out in Colorado. So then we did, like when Carl was going to do the testing at Adidas, I was like, you know what? I'm always having the FOMO. I'm just going to do it. And I had a great time.
Yeah, you just got to do it because it's like, even if it sucks, if you don't want to get up early or whatever, just think, dude, it's just one day. Like, I'm just going to be tired this day, but I'm never going to be back in this place. So you got to figure it out like that way.
Yeah, it's not just when the Venice thing, I was worried. One, how am I going to feel after Boston? And then two, it's like, I didn't want to be like, if I was like jet lagged or whatever, I didn't want to be that guy that's out there that's dragging behind and just all that. Then I see like you guys go and, you guys just, it wasn't like a race.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
All right. Second tip, we're coming back to the racing. Big mistake you can make in the summertime is not hydrating. We know that. But did you know what you should be doing the night before, the days before, making sure you stay up on that hydration, making sure that you're getting something with some electrolytes in it so that you can hold in some of that hydration and not just have the water going right through you. So make sure that you're taking something like LMNT or Scratch or Tailwind or any of the other hydrations that are out there that have electrolytes in it. Just make sure you're getting something in there.
All right, guys, it is almost time for you to run a trail race that is part of the Golden Trail Series, Broken Arrow in Lake Tahoe.
Do you know how much training I've done for this, Robbie?
Hopefully some.
0. I haven't been on the trails in a while. I need to get out there because trails always kick my butt. So tell me more about Broken Arrow, Meg.
Well, you guys are going to be hosting a bunch of stuff, so I think people can come hang out even if they're not racing. But it's a super fun event. It has everything from an 11K to a 46K, I think, and like a vertical K, which we found out is longer than a K, but it's 1K of vert.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, you can find out more about the series in general by going to goldentrailseries.com or just follow the Golden Trail Series on Instagram.
I want to bring up... A couple podcasts ago, we were talking about why don't brands do signature shoes for athletes and stuff. And I totally forgot that's Speedland's model. They actually do that for every athlete.
That's a good point.
Like all their shoes are signature shoes for their athletes.
They do, but I think that's different, and I like that. But it's not like I want like a Jordan that's for running. Like there should be. For like, it's neat that Cam Hames.
I'm wearing Sydney McLaughlin shoes right now.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
That's a good point.
No one would know that.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not like she's gonna have maybe she is gonna have a line, but like
she does have a line.
But like of apparel and like she has like but not like a shoe that's her shoe that
like a Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, that's the thing. So Speedland's, it isn't a specific shoe to that person. It's a colorway or whatever of a shoe they're already building. But it's also like, it's the Cam Hanes shoe or something like that. Cam Hanes to me is a celebrity, and he's in that category. I think when we talked about like running shoes, like Clayton Young, if Clayton Young, they're like, okay, he wins the Olympics. Could happen. I mean, he's there.
Right.
So now Clayton Young is the American marathon champion of the world. I would think you want to make like a specific race day shoe that would be his line from then on.
I got you.
Yeah, like I feel like Joan Benoit should have a shoe.
The Pegasus, I kind of feel.
I was going to say
shoe.
the Pegasus is kind of her shoe, I guess, but it's not called that, and it's not a different model, and it's been around.
Right.
It would be cool to have a Benoit.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how athletes, I was trying to figure this out because I saw that Parker Valby's like possibly will be getting like 650 grand
to 800,000.
Yeah. And I'm like, is there an insane gap between certain, because
100%.
You hear about pros who are working like at a coffee shop to make it by. And then I'm like, and then they're on the other end. It doesn't seem that far off. It's like the complete opposite. Is there nothing in between that?
Well, think about the WNBA.
Yeah. But even then, I know she's making a lot of money in endorsements and stuff, but her salary is pretty garbage.
Yeah, it is. But comparatively, what the league brings in, she's one of the highest paid players.
Yeah, right.
So it is weird because you look at that for the runners, though, and you're absolutely right. There's pro runners that are getting basically a shoe deal, race entries, and bonuses.
Right.
And then there's people that are like, you get it all.
Yeah.
Well, but she hits the mark. Like she's huge on social media. She's very talented.
She's not as big as I thought she was on social media.
She's got like 100,000 followers.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just says
that's like a solid influencer though. Like if you were going to pay someone,
true,
and they had 100,000 followers, they would probably make a decent amount. And then combine that with her ability to run super fast. She also happens to be adorable.
Yeah, I get it. I just, it's crazy the value that social media almost play, or like a persona plays.
But that is marketing.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're getting an athlete and a marketer at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I think if you look at like Michael Jordan, they built marketing around him. Mm-hmm. And because marketing was different, that was a different media at the time. But now an athlete can build their marketing around themselves, build a personal brand, and then it only strengthens. It's almost like the collabs. We were talking about collabs, and a good collab raises both people. So, it brings both brands up. Mm-hmm. And I think somebody like this, it's worth it if you have somebody who can do that. Tiger Woods did that for Nike.
True.
Jordan's done it. I'm trying to think of a female that's had that kind of impact on a brand.
I'm trying to, like, why am I blanking out now?
I mean, I'm thinking it's probably because it's a product or something that we don't.
Like Serena Williams, I don't know if that's, yeah.
Serena Williams is a great example of that. Tying her to Nike was brilliant for both her and Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and speaking of collabs, we just had the Under Armour Balenciaga hit.
I don't know.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to say this. Like, if Kevin Plain comes to me, I can fix some stuff for you, bud.
There's things that seem so obvious that I'm just don't understand, but what are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, it would cost you. I'd charge you a lot, but I could fix it.
I guess I don't understand, like, tell me if this is off. I feel like Under Armour is just, there's no real vision that's like locked in. It's like, let's just do whatever comes our way. Like, we're just floating. It's like a breeze is just blowing to everything, and it just, none of it's cohesive. It's just like, let's throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks type of thing.
My guess is that the personnel changes and each person that comes in wants to change, kind of like put their mark on it or do their thing.
Yeah.
And so as the personnel changes, you're like, okay, we get 2 years of this. Then we're going to get 2 years of that.
Right.
And then to the consumer, there's no consistency. I mean, Nike's been Just Do It for years. And Nike's been helping, like their mission and their vision has been the same for years. Where I feel you go into Under Armour and you're like, what are you? What is the brand? Like people now are calling it a bro brand.
Yeah. Some people think that what their actual brand is, who their audience is incongruent with what they want it to be, which is probably true because you don't want to be the bro brand or like dudes, middle America dudes, but like, hey, that's your brand. Like,
well, then you lose them when you try to please.
Right.
Oh, I want to be in this space now, and then all those guys are like,
which is weird because it's like that's basically what Under Armour is. Like that's who they have always been. Like that's Kevin Plant. Like that's the whole vibe.
Well, that's the thing.
Just do that thing.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is, I mean, they take away the hunting and that side where they had, which they had a strong following in.
They still do, but they took down the focus on it for sure.
I was gonna say it still exists.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, they're like going over here to the basketball side, and they're not really having a great. You have Stephen Curry, but where's the product? Where's the you don't see like people like Puma came in and was like to basketball and was like, oh, all of a sudden Puma's hot. Puma came into running a few years back, 2 or 3 years after being on a hiatus, able to create a line of shoes, drop right in.
Yeah.
But like Rob, you were saying earlier, I feel like these other brands had a strategy. Like Puma clearly went after athletes. Like that was a big focus for them. And they happened to pick some really good ones. And I feel like that made a huge splash.
I think part of that, but it was the product. I think it was also product driven. I think the athletes were fine, but they had a product to bring it back. Under Armour actually had some really great athletes. They had the winner of the New York City Marathon, the women's winner.
Right.
Yeah.
They have, did she get the American record for the half at Houston? I forget her name. At Houston, they had.
Coletti, I think you're thinking of.
She won the Houston half marathon. I think it might have been an American record at the time. No news, no publicity about either of these, really.
Yeah, I mean, even the mission distance is doing pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah,
like they're posting up some.
They have athletes. They don't have product.
Yeah,
and they don't. Even if they had like. They've got like one shoe that you could possibly wear for daily training now, which is heavy, but it has an updated foam. So at least it's in that realm. Mm-hmm. Then you've got the race day shoe, which it's in there. It wouldn't be top tier, but it's in the mix of like,
right.
I think it can compete with maybe the Saucony or, some of the shoes along that line, but that's it. And then clothing wise, they used to have the best apparel for running.
Oh yeah, I loved their gear.
I mean, their apparel's always been
really
awesome.
Good. Yeah.
Name one piece of apparel I can pretty much go through other brands and say, okay, I like the Adi Zero line from Adidas. I like the Spark socks and stuff from Nike. I like, I can go down those different lines. I can't think of, and I have a really great piece of apparel from them.
I mean, the Faster Bastard singlet that we got back in the day, that's probably still one of my favorite singlets. And that was an Under Armour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wear it all the time still.
John this morning was like, hey, we got to get more of those embroidered jackets.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so the Balenciaga thing, I'm like, what is happening? And that just pisses off their fan base too, because everyone knows the whole boycott scandal thing with Balenciaga. And it's like that's like the complete opposite of their.
But even the clothing that they came up with, the clothing and the shoes that they came up with for the collab they seem uninspired.
Yeah, and it's like I get it. It's like that Yeezy Gap vibe, like very understated, quiet fashion. But I'm like, are we still doing that?
But it's not quiet fashion.
Oh, it's not because it has the logo right on it. Yeah. But it's like just a very plain look, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm not going to just bash on Under Armour for their Balenciaga collab, although I think it's a big miss. Mm-hmm. I don't think it does anything for either brand. I don't think it helps Under Armour or helps Balenciaga, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
The Lowe's on collaboration, I also thought was like, this is kind of like, I don't really get it. But then some people were telling me they're like, apparently it's the Louis Vuitton owns the Lowe's. It's like a shot.
Oh, okay.
A part of that. So maybe I'm just not the right person for that audience.
That's just, I think it's out of my world.
If you told me that this was part of the Zoolander, I would say yes.
Yeah. It's not even cool looking.
Which part?
It's the guy walking the runway for Under Armour.
Oh, yeah.
He's basically got like a regular windbreaker, like zip up.
But the boots, that's where it's
the boots
at.
The fur. But yeah, I didn't realize is that pronounced right? I don't
Lowe's?
even know. There's no S on it.
I don't know.
You want to say that because of
Lowe's.
Lowe's.
Yeah, I do.
I should probably
hardware.
know this. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of them. I just not really in that world.
I've seen movies at their place.
I didn't realize it's a Spanish luxury fashion house. So okay, because there's this other pair of called Cloud Tilt. I guess $550 pair of On shoes seems a little much.
They haven't updated. Apparently, it sells quite well.
Wow, but I did want to talk about. Oh, we did have this other. Where's that Hoka collab? Is that over there?
Yeah, it's over there.
Because that looks cool. That's actually a cool one that we should probably talk about.
Speaking of cool collabs.
It is cool, but again, it's like Hoka does some collabs and in the brand perspective, like I'd be curious how they choose who and why they're collabing.
Yeah, so this is a collab with Nicole McLaughlin, who...
You got to realize some people are listening, so you're going to have to describe this.
Yeah, I will. She's an artist on Instagram. I followed her for a while. She just does cool, weird things with like household items and designs, like shoes with, I don't know,
the Vans
pockets and carry. Yeah, like there was a pair of Vans that had pockets for small gardening tools. I don't know. But so she did the Hoka Mafate 3. She did one last year, and now she did this other one with. So it's like the old school Mafate, has like silver on it and neon, a neon gator with like a bunch of pockets on it.
Like when you thought of the future as a child, that's what you thought.
Actually, it's pretty sweet.
I think it's awesome looking. The thing that's crazy to me is how used to Stack I've gotten, because I remember when the first time I saw the Mafate, I was like, that thing is gigantic. Yeah, and now it just looks like a shoe.
It's crazy because that's basically just a normal shoe at this point.
So what did she do? She created that gator that's kind of on top. That's right, almost like a tent for the top of the shoe.
Yeah, and it has like a ton of pockets on it. I guess.
Oh, it does have pockets?
So you could stash your gels or something or whatever you want in it. It's kind of cool.
Cash money.
Yeah, it's like kangaroos as a kid, but.
Oh, dude, I love that. The idea of having a pocket on your shoe. I don't know why that was so popular.
Amazing.
And what did you put in there? I put one I used
penny.
to put my house key.
Yeah. Wait, I never had pocket shoes.
You never had kangaroos? You were too young, man.
Yeah, they were very hot when I was a kid. Dude, they had Walter Payton as an athlete.
If kangaroos had come out now, they would be the biggest. They'd be bigger than Crocs.
I thought they tried to do a re-up of them and they just didn't stick, which is weird.
I was
just looking them up.
Yeah, but I was initially thinking like my mind goes to, where can you carry gels during a marathon? But I realized that's absolutely the worst place. You can't be reaching down in the middle of a marathon.
No, but like you just say, hey, Robbie, grab me a gel on my next up kick.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you're running with a team.
If you're in a trail race, you're walking. So no
that's
cares.
For the trail for sure. But like if you're racing a marathon, that ain't going to work.
So I really wanted kangaroos.
Yeah.
And they came in really cool colors and stuff. Mm-hmm. But at the time, I was in a tax bracket of my family shopping at, like, your sneakers were coming from Sears.
Right.
And so I got a pair when they were kind of on, like when a shoe hits a peak and it starts coming down.
Yeah.
I finally got my pair when it made it to Sears, and they were like tan. And I don't mean like a cool tan. I'm talking like back when, your desktop computer was that vanilla color.
The Commodore tan.
Like this shoe looked like a desktop computer almost.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I remember. So I used to have this car. It was like Walter Payton sitting on a Lamborghini. I mean, how cool is that?
It is very cool, but how do you get the Lamborghini? I guess you could put the Lamborghini key in your Kangaroo.
Yeah, I think so. Back then, that's what you did. But I did want to bring up, so I think that's it for the collabs, right? Maybe you could do a Kangaroo collab with someone.
I would do that. I'd bring Kangaroo back.
Anyways,
with your hat, you could do an all Australian kind of theme.
That is
fractal.
That is true.
Kangaroo, because you find stuff on your run.
Yeah, that would actually be perfect.
You tuck it into your shoe. Like, where do you stash that $20 you just found? Boom. That penny.
Dude, I do need to like actually, this would be good for doing runs and finding stuff on runs.
That would. That's your trash.
There's your coins.
By the way, when I was at my parents' house last weekend, I was walking through my parents' yard and I found $1 in the flower bed, and I kept it. Is that wrong? This is my mom's dollar for sure.
Are you sure it's hers?
Did you tell her about it?
What happened, I believe, is that it was in an Easter egg, and an animal probably got to the chocolate in the egg, and like a fool, that animal left that $1 in the grass.
I do find that the fiscal responsibility of squirrels is like insane. They have no concept of money.
No, but they are good at saving acorns.
Nuts.
Yeah. Which, are you good at saving nuts?
No.
Okay.
I do. Okay. What's your favorite nut?
Edible. Let's see.
Wait, were you going to go with like 3/16 if we were talking like steel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, pistachios are pretty good.
Are you pistachio too, right, man?
Yeah.
Fancy AF.
They're so expensive.
Yeah.
See, I know it's not.
Do you prefer a bag of shelled or de-shelled?
Shelled.
Because you like to, because then they last longer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like a handful and it's like $20 down the drain.
Right.
Oh wait, so you said you do like them shelled?
I'm
do
sorry.
you like it with a shell or without a shell?
I meant shelled like they have a shell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
do you want to crack them open?
Shelled, yeah.
Well, then
Not
it's like
de-shelled.
a game. No.
When you shell something, when you shell something, isn't that also taking off
Hello?
a shell?
Hello?
That's shucking something.
Hold on.
I shelled the peanuts.
I don't think that's a verb.
Unshelled.
I don't think you use it
shell
like that.
peanuts.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it's shelled, wouldn't that not have a shell?
Yeah, that's past tense of having a shell.
No, but if it's shelled, it has a shell.
No.
Is unshelled even a word?
Yeah, I believe if you buy pistachios, you have unshelled.
But wouldn't they also be shelled?
Shell is a verb to remove the shell or pod.
See?
From a nut or seed.
Is unshell even a word? Look that up.
This is the stuff
What
that
if
you
it
want to
wasn't?
hear on your run today. Is it unshelled or shelled?
The meaning of unshell is to remove from the shell.
That's ridiculous.
That's
Okay, no, I just look at the packaging.
insane.
Pull
So
up.
shell and unshell mean the same thing.
Well, it's the same as bi-weekly because people use it wrong. It means both twice a week or every other week.
That has made me angry before.
Because nobody uses semi-weekly.
Yeah.
And so it just reverts to you can't have two meanings for the same word.
Yeah, but this is two separate words. I mean the same thing, and by reading it, they're the opposite.
Can you look up a bag of pistachios and see what it says on the ones
Okay,
without
yeah, look that
shells?
up.
Okay.
If that's clear enough for you.
Roasted and salted.
Okay.
No shells multi-pack.
Okay.
So they don't say
No shells. It says no shells if there's no shells.
Because someone got confused. They're like, what do you mean shelled?
And then you could also shell a whole town with bombs.
Shelled pistachios.
What does that mean?
Kirkland sells shelled pistachios,
but
and they have no shells.
Okay.
Okay.
That could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And Kirkland is part of isn't that?
That's
Costco.
Costco, yeah.
Jarrett knows that.
It all comes around. I'm going to tell you, I'm a cheap date. I love peanuts.
Yeah, peanuts, just the ones that you crack like at a baseball game.
I know they're not even, I like cracking them. I like the ones that are salted, like the shell is salted and you get it out. And
Yeah, that's
I
a
like
good
that.
point.
I like boiled peanuts.
So what's
like
the deal
peanut
with
butter.
What is the deal with boiled peanuts? Because every time I'm in the South, I think, should I be getting these?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Imagine a peanut that is marinated so it's a little softer, but it's marinated with salt and
It's kind of
flavors.
weird. It's like almost peanut butter, but not quite. I'm not.
It's not even close to
It's
peanut
close.
butter.
If it's close to peanut butter, I'm in.
Robbie, think salty, savory.
Yeah.
But usually it's like it almost tastes like a meat.
I gotta say, the name isn't helping their cause at all.
No.
Does anyone ever want boiled anything?
Okay, pistachios. I'm going to bring it back to pistachios, and I do like boiled eggs.
Okay.
I really like boiled eggs.
Do you like hard boiled eggs?
I do, and I like deviled eggs.
Yeah. Dude, my mom might actually be making some for this weekend.
Nice.
I don't know if I can do that.
What does that mean?
He can't eat other food that people make.
What are you talking about, dude?
You should know this by now.
It's not
That
that.
doesn't
Like,
even make sense, though.
your mom handling the eggs and stuff.
What do you think happens at a restaurant, by the way?
That's what I always say.
Magic.
What do you think those cooks are doing back in the kitchen?
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
It's way worse there than in someone's house.
All right. Anyway.
There's so much cross-contamination going on.
All right. The thing is with pistachios, what can you make? Pistachio ice cream?
Yeah.
You can-
Gelato.
You could put pistachios on like a crusted halibut,
Okay.
This
and
all
you can
sounds
eat
good.
pistachios.
Yeah.
Peanuts have peanut butter, peanut oil. You could have
I'm
like
sure someone's
boiled
making
peanuts,
pistachio butter.
I do like
shelled peanuts.
I do like sunflowers, but
Oh,
that's not a nut. That's just a seed. But I don't.
Well, peanuts aren't nuts; they're legumes.
Are what?
Peanuts are not nuts.
But isn't
Nuts
a
that grow on
legume?
a tree.
Isn't it still a nut somehow by some broad definition?
I mean, it's called a peanut.
Yeah, I
But
think we'll just say it is.
It's like tomatoes.
for convenience sake.
Like everybody thinks tomatoes are vegetables.
Yeah.
Like nobody's like, ooh, I want a fruity tomato.
People who make the rules, I think that we should reevaluate the classifications of fruits and vegetables.
Especially the people who write shelled pistachios on unshelled pistachios.
Someone told me strawberries aren't.
I don't even want to
We gotta
know.
get off.
I
this
don't even
topic.
want to
This
know
is
what you're
insane.
talking about because I'm not declassifying strawberries as a fruit in my head.
All right, final tip. A lot of times when you finish a workout in the summer or you finish a race in the summer, the last thing you feel like doing is taking in calories. For some reason, our stomachs are just not ready for it. But it's so important for recovery to get that protein in there, get that food in there to feed your muscles back up and start the recovery process. So make sure even on these hot races, you're not just going straight to the beer tent or straight to the water. Get in some nutrition. Get yourself healed.
Okay, another sponsor of today's podcast is Cheribundi. You love this stuff. Robbie loves this stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
for
trying
sure.
to get that anti-inflammatory benefits is what I'm going for here.
Yeah, so they reduce inflammation, helps you sleep better, and recover faster.
Especially the one that has the melatonin in it.
Yeah, so that one's obviously great for sleep. I know we just got some of the bottles, which you love.
I do. It makes it easy.
Put a bunch in the fridge, so drink that when you get home. And then also they have the pouches that you can put in the freezer and have like a popsicle after a hot run, which is
Yeah.
pretty nice.
I mean, it's the best thing after a hot summer run for sure.
So
Do you think your kids would like it?
That's a good question. I tried to give them one. I was going to give them one yesterday, I think, but I forgot to.
I'm curious because it's a little tart.
yeah.
Megan
it might be a little
Featherston
too
said her
sweet.
kids love it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They
I mean,
probably eat
I
all
would
sorts
think
of
they
good
would.
stuff, though. They're probably
Yeah.
used to eating spinach.
No, it tastes amazing.
All right.
So if you want to get some, you can use the promo code THEDROP. Just go to cheribundi.com and that'll save you 20%.
There's no way.
Yeah, they got seeds.
Yeah.
On the outside, though.
Yeah. Do those seeds even grow anything? Like if you put those seeds.
Just take that whole strawberry and put it in the dirt. You'll have strawberries up the yin yang.
Strawberries are good.
I should know this because.
You know, have you ever seen that Instagram guy who's like, bam, you take this and you mix it in here and you blend it, bzzz, and then you got it. It's a
Yeah.
homemade fertilizer. That guy?
God,
I think
maybe.
he's grown strawberries before.
Okay.
You dry them out and you put them on a tray and then you take the seeds and you plant them and you've got strawberries for years.
I just don't understand why some things have so many seeds. That seems like it's too many.
No, that's like survival. That's like fish in the ocean.
I guess it is like
'Cause you
how
got-
humans are created too, if you think about it.
Yeah. We just cut out that.
There's a lot of seeds going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, so for real, before this gets real bad.
Meg was starting to shake her head. I was waiting for the interjection.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening to you guys. I was Googling strawberries and getting angry.
I did it for her. Oh, no. Do I need to know this?
No, we're moving on.
No, I want to know why you're angry about strawberry.
They're saying it's part of a rose family.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, stop. Okay.
can't.
You need to cut people off from access to information needs to be cut off. There's too much going on.
You know
we're
what?
now classifying as roses.
Why don't you ask AI to sort a new system based on how we eat it?
But they also call it a summer fruit. So it's...
Who's they, by the way? Who is this vague they?
So
Strawberry
I Googled
Consortium.
it, and this is the AI overview
Yeah,
that
there
pops
we go.
up.
Perfect.
Because that's a thing now.
Perfect. Yeah.
They collect the best data from around the globe.
All right.
I'm
Well,
gonna
anyway,
make some
speaking
more.
of data, this is actually a good segue. So, I guess Strava's PR or whatever want to pitch some stories, and they had some stats since Global Running Day is coming up. When is that? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, but 2
In the
days ago.
past? Okay.
Future past.
There's actually some pretty crazy stats. If I can go through a couple.
Let's hear
Let's
some.
hear them. Let's hear the good ones.
So it said number one, racing is on the rise, which we know.
yes.
21% of runners on Strava participated in at least one race last year, a 24% increase.
I like that.
In 2023, 5% of Strava runners ran a marathon, which is 20% year over year increase.
Okay.
5%. That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's a 20% increase.
Yeah, but wouldn't you think that it was more than 5%?
I think just
Yeah, because if you run a marathon and you don't put it on Strava, what are you doing?
And here's the thing. How many people do we know? We know at least 5 people. And every one of them runs a
yeah,
marathon.
but how many people are on
I think we're in
Strava?
a weird world. There's a lot of people who just do fitness type stuff.
Are you talking about hybrid athletes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see that Hydrox or Hyrox
Yeah, I
competition?
can't watch that. It just makes me sick. It makes me sick.
I don't understand. How many times can you rebrand CrossFit?
Yeah, that, and I'm just like, these people, why do they have this much energy and time and dedication to keep being fit? I'm like, I can't do this.
They're called 20-year-olds.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, no, think about it. You got, it used to be,
Jess Movold's doing it. She's amazing.
She's an exceptional human.
yeah, but it was Spartan races. Then it was like CrossFit competitions.
Yeah.
And now they're like, no. That stuff's old. Now it's Hyrox.
Isn't that like a laundry detergent?
No, it's Hydrox.
Yeah, right.
Clorox.
Isn't it?
No, remember the cookies I told you about?
Oh, yeah. That sound like a laundry detergent. What were those?
Hydrox cookies.
Yeah. So it basically is that.
I mean, I do feel like they just keep rebranding CrossFit.
I mean, I don't know. It just makes me sad. Like, I can't watch that stuff. I'm like, look, I'm never going to be this zero interest in it.
So does it make you feel bad about yourself? Like, are you like, I'll never spend that much time working on my fitness? Or
Yeah, it's just a stark reality, I think.
you feel like I'm never getting that cape.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, just the rowing motion alone is just aggravating.
Is
I
that
thought-
all the stats?
Yeah, no, there's 2 more.
Okay.
I got sidelined.
I know, but before we leave that, I would actually think that Robbie would like it because he really liked the Mind the Gap, which is like run to a thing, do something, run to the next thing, do something. And
No, but
that's-
you're like lifting heavy in between and doing burpees.
Yeah, they're throwing like medicine balls up in the air.
You gotta be strong.
Yeah. There was a time once when it was a possibility. That has passed. Now we're talking about, speaking of generational shift, Gen Z is making running cool. Gen Z was the leading contributor to the 11% increase in Strava clubs in 2023.
What are those people again?
I spelled Strava wrong.
Who are those? Is that Carl and me? No.
I think
We're
a
old.
little bit younger.
Yeah.
Although only 2% of Gen Z runners ran a marathon in 2023, it's a 65% increase over the year before, making them the fastest growing generation of runners.
They're 12 to 27 right now.
So that's the fastest growing segment of running.
that kind of makes sense though.
Well, not the marathon part, because perennially Gen Z never ran marathon. Like younger people never ran marathons.
Okay, Gen Z is also known as Zoomers. Did you know this? And are considered the first generation to be, quote, digitally native because they grew up with smartphones and social media.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. And then who runs the world, this global running? Oh, okay. Yeah, girls run the world. So
Gotta finish that one
Who
for you.
runs the world?
let's see. So this is actually not surprising to me. Women are averaging 592 total miles to hit a 3:30 marathon versus 517 for men. So 15% higher training volume for women.
Wait, give me that stat again.
So to run a 3:30 marathon, women are averaging 592 total miles. So close to 600 versus 517 miles for men.
So I wonder what is
mile difference.
How are they determining when that mileage starts?
I'm assuming
Probably like 3-4 months before.
Yeah, I would assume
20 weeks, whatever.
I think that's a tough one to extrapolate. I'd have to see how they're doing that.
But if you do those averages, that makes sense.
Well, either way, doesn't matter really because I'm sure they're both the same time frames.
I think I've done. Is that hours or miles?
Miles.
I've probably done 1,000 and still not done.
Yeah, this is for those who can hit a 3:30 marathon, which you would expect women to have to train harder to hit the 3:30.
Yeah, because men
Right.
biologically
So
have
that's not that surprising.
See, this is crazy. And again, this is because we're in a little bubble. I know so many fast, strong women in running. Like it's almost like when we get new people in Faster Bastards or Believe Run Club, the top 10% is usually it's pretty much split even men and women.
Yeah, it's a bubble thing for sure.
But we're working harder.
Yeah. That's 15% harder. Uh-huh. So,
but are you getting paid the same?
Zero.
Well,
zero is still zero.
Parker's showing us all up, so we'll see.
There were so across all the races we looked at, women were 7% more likely than men to have a negative split.
Yeah.
Because they're smarter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You guys think you're all fast, going out hot.
And then
I think it's ego. And I think you could even take it, you could probably break it down by personality of who's going to go out too hot. Like you can probably look at a chart.
I mean, I just looked at the Baltimore 10 miler video and I saw 40 dudes ahead of Megan who finished behind her.
Yeah.
I did not get passed by one dude, and I passed 4 in the back 5 miles.
Nice.
Which was really satisfying.
That's awesome.
And do you feel that guys don't want you to pass them?
Yes.
Like how do you determine that?
It's just a vibe. I can just like if I run up behind or near someone and they pick up the pace, that's a telltale sign.
Are you saying they turn their head around and they see you coming? And
No,
then
you
they
know
pick
when
it up?
someone's on your shoulder.
Oh, so you pass them and then you feel they're coming up on you.
No, if I run up to someone's shoulder
Okay.
and
feel
they
them going
speed up.
faster.
Yeah.
Right, but how do they know you're a woman?
You know.
I also feel like you know that. Yeah.
Okay.
You can sense the difference.
Yeah, the pheromones are strong.
I'm sensing a female disturbance in my voice.
Also, I'm like a head shorter.
No, I will tell you this. Watching the finishing, the places that people finish, there's no advantage to being a tall guy in racing.
There never has been.
Yeah, that's the one nice thing about running.
I was actually talking to John about it on the trail run today. I was like, would you like being short is really handy in running, but not much else in life. Mm-hmm. But how much you love running, would you trade off height for time?
Yeah. I mean, it's good for like, if you wanted to crawl under a car to get a tennis ball. If it went
Or if
under
you wanted to
there.
be a jockey.
I guess you don't have to be short to do that.
If you need to get your hand through a fence.
Yeah, I'm really good at like getting things in like weird. Like if I am working on my car and I drop a bolt or nut down in the engine part, I can grab it. That's kind of nice.
Or
See, Robbie,
if you're on a tight plane, you don't have long legs, so that works out better.
Robbie,
That's a big one, actually.
Yeah.
you are not, your hands and arms are regular human size.
Oh no, my hands are tiny, dude. Wait, what?
You're not one of those little ponies that we see running around with the tiny legs.
I don't know, man. Look at this. Look at how small my wrist is.
I mean, mine's not that huge.
Dude, it's actually that big. I don't know.
Okay, let's talk about.
I can't even wear watches because the
bands?
Yeah.
You can get children's watches. I really liked, whatchamacallit? Oh, we had pictures of Carl up and he's wearing his chain.
Oh yeah, he looks.
And
good
he just looks
chain.
cool. He looks.
I know.
Like he makes me want a chain.
Yeah.
And then
Look at him over there, looking all chained out.
Dapper.
Rico Suave. I didn't realize it, but you do run with a chain. And I noticed today Lo runs with a chain.
Well, it's not a chain, but a necklace. Yeah.
What's the difference?
I mean, do I have it on? That's my sunglasses. Oh, I don't have it on. It's just a cord, like the black cheap cord.
Oh, it's not like a metal chain.
No.
Okay.
It's like a whatever nylon. I don't know.
All right. I'm tempted.
I
I
don't think so.
Yeah, do it. Now I'm gonna make you do it.
Yeah.
The fact that Megan doesn't want
I
to do it.
actually, you know what I really want? I want to get a grill with the
Okay.
Believe in the Run logo.
Yeah. That's it.
I don't
And
hate
negative
it.
space.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
On the front teeth.
Yeah.
Imagine showing up to a race and turn around smiling at someone and be like,
And you might as well get your ear pierced too while you're at
my
it.
ears are pierced.
Are they?
Yeah.
I have this black dot. Did you ever see that black dot on my ear?
I haven't expected your ear that closely.
Really?
Yeah. What is that black dot from?
I got that pierced when that was cool to do, like when in the early 2000s.
In the year
And then
2000.
I changed it out right away. You know, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And it basically got infected so much that it just turned black and died. And now it's never, I have a black spot on my ear.
So when you go to Claire's or Forever 21, you're the example they give of don't do this.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I saw on Instagram, this girl was dancing and she hit her head on the floor and it made a big old bump on her head. And I couldn't stop looking at it.
Is that just, okay. That's just,
How is that relevant?
It's his black ear. I just imagine them putting up a picture of Robbie by the ear piercing.
Also, I hope you didn't get your ears pierced at Forever 21.
I didn't.
Because that's a
well, it was wherever
story.
in the mall that they just do
Claire's,
stuff.
yeah.
I'm trying to think where my...
Forever 21 doesn't do that.
They don't do that.
There's some dude in the back in the changing room. Hey man, $5 for a
Hey,
piercing.
you waiting for your girl to try on stuff? How would you like
Yeah.
to get your ear pierced? I don't even remember where I got my ear pierced when I was 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good decision making time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was skateboarding. It was
Yeah,
rad.
exactly. You're making a lot of good decisions.
I just had 2 dents in my ear. It's not
At least
like
you
I
didn't
have-
get plugs. You weren't around for that phase.
Oh no!
Gosh.
Yeah.
When you said plugs, I was thinking hair plugs.
Yeah, that too.
I was like, I might consider. There's a guy who does the funny memes with the dogs on Instagram that he's really funny, but he's totally neck tattooed and has the plugs.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh,
I have friends who had like the $50 size ones.
do you still see their
They still
ear?
wear it like that. Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. He's like a kind of a hippie guy.
When you take them out though, you just have spaghetti, right?
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
do you just get that surgically removed at some point? Like when
Maybe
you're at
like
the old people's homes
like
doing
a little lobster claw or
Okay,
something.
let's talk about the Magic Speed 4 before we
yeah.
wrap things up. Because
probably
this
went
is
long
going
today.
super long.
I don't know, it felt natural.
All right, Asics Magic Speed 4.
Is it
Asics?
Yeah, that's what we're calling it today. Asics Magic Speed 4. We'll have the written review online and the
Yeah, I got to write mine. Robbie's already done his.
probably the video
We're
review.
going to do the video right after this. Robbie and I think, may have slightly different feelings towards the shoe.
What are the updates?
So Flight Foam Blast Plus midsole with a Flight Foam Blast Turbo puck in the forefoot.
So that's only that orange thing right there.
No,
Not even that. No,
That's just a
It's
graphic.
Just right here.
Oh, you can't see
it's
it from
under the
outside.
plate.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll show you a photo that we're not
You can't
supposed to show.
You save that? Look at you, you little sneaky guy.
Well,
Oh, wow.
I just can't.
So it's
put in
just
a
it's
review.
literally just a little chunk of foam
It's a
in
pillow.
the forefoot.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. How do you feel about the marketing of writing Flight Foam Turbo in big letters on the side.
So I was thinking about this and I wrote in the review. It's annoying to me because people think, oh, this is a turbo midsole. But then I thought, oh yeah, Asics does it with the Adidas does it with the SL with the Light Strike Pro. That's a $120 shoe.
I didn't like that either.
Yeah. And then Nike does it with the Zoom X.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But putting it as the main ingredient call out to me is somewhat misleading.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that it's in there, and it certainly, like when you said they call out and other shoe companies put it there, if you had on it Flight Foam Blast Plus,
yeah,
as big,
yeah,
or like maybe where the turbo was, make it a little smaller, and then just have Flight Foam Plus.
Well, yeah, because I think when this shoe is leaked and people saw the photos, they're thinking, oh, it's a variation on the Super Blast, which it really isn't at all. I mean,
or even a variation of the race day shoe.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you feel? And the stack height's pretty high in this. It's 44 and a half.
I was gonna say that looks thicker than the last one.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It's like 25% more actually.
Oh, wow.
Because the last one they said it's 36 and a half full stack.
That's where I think the confusion is coming from for me with this shoe.
Yeah.
I really liked the Magic Speed 3. It fit in this like up tempo, lower to the ground, faster, lighter feeling. It still had this race upper on it. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing that what they've done now is they've taken this, made it more like the Meta Speed. So this does geometry and fit and looks closer related to the Meta Speed family.
Uh-huh.
But it lost some of its race day kind of vibes.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. As far as the previous version, it was lighter, of course, because it's a lower stack, and it had the what do you call it? Motion wrap upper, the same basically upper they use in the race day shoes. So it was like a fast race day 5K, 10K shoe, whereas this uses the upper. That was one of my knocks on it. It just doesn't fit like a racing upper. Like it's more of a traditional.
That seems like a super trainer.
Engineer mesh
at
upper.
This point.
It is, but
it's not.
But it's also like it had like the feel and ride of it does feel like it's still a tempo shoe.
Okay.
And this is where we kind of disagreed a little bit on this, and sorry to confuse people, but
okay.
You talked about doing you felt it came alive at faster paces.
Yeah.
While I do think it comes alive at faster paces, after wearing it, so one of my runs was just a straight 12-mile run in it, where there's some up-tempo paces, but it wasn't anything like racing. And then another one was just an easy run, and then I did another 10-mile the day I was chasing you around while you were at the Baltimore 10-miler. One, I haven't experienced this in a while, where a foam breaks in, and this one, the Flight Foam Blast Plus, I don't know if there's a slightly different formula, but it seemed to, the more I wore this shoe, the more it kind of softened up and I liked it a little bit better.
Yeah. I actually agree with you.
Okay. So like you would, by it softening up, I went from a place where I was like you, where I was like, this is a tempo shoe, you need to be running at a pace for it, to, okay, this could possibly compete with somebody who doesn't want to get the Saucony speed.
Yeah.
This could sort of go into that realm.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be my pick.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know. It's weird. Because I really did like the feel of it. Not so much going slower, but I did feel like my last run in it was a 10-mile run. And I was like, okay, this is like, I can run slower in it, which I didn't think at first. And I think it's partly because I might be used to the bouncy Piba type foams that in all these shoes now. And this is more of like did you feel like it feels like the Adios, like the Boston 12 or like the Adios Pro, like kind of literally, I feel like it's a combination of those two shoes.
My initial feeling was Boston 12. I was like, this is straight up comparison to Boston 12.
Right.
Now, the problem that would be, here's where I think that would be a problem for Asics. Boston 12 now you can get for like $70.
Yeah.
But the problem that people have with the Boston 12 is the upper.
Right.
So this one has a better fitting upper and more comfortable fitting upper than the Boston 12.
True.
What's the price point on this?
$170. So it's about the same price. Yeah, there's in this, like the last upper, the motion wrap is like very like locked in there. This has a little more room in the toe box. Still fit. There's no like slippage or anything, but yeah, still a good fitting upper. But yeah, I don't know. It's like it is a little confusing.
So I ran before the Paris collection of Metaspeed. The Metaspeed previous models were a little firm to me, and so when we did the marathon in Tokyo, I chose to run in Super Blast. And I think that was a good idea for me. Worked out. My feet felt fine. I felt like we had a great race. Good shoe. When then it came to Falmouth, I went with the Magic Speed 3 over the Metaspeed again because it was still the previous version to the Paris versions. And I felt like it did a really nice job on that course. Felt good. Cushioning was right. It just was nice. On this one, I would probably, I really, really, really like the new Metaspeed Sky and Edge Paris. But even between this and the previous version, I don't know. I'd be torn on which one I would use. Which would you go with?
It just depends. I feel like what I like about this is that I feel like it can go like a half marathon or, maybe even more. As opposed to like, I wouldn't wear the Metaspeed or the Magic Speed 3 for more than probably a 10K. Reminds me of the Takumi Sen in that way. Like
maybe half.
Great shoe. Maybe, but I feel like this would be more suited for it.
Yeah. I would wear this if this was my option, like say that I went someplace and I had my race day shoe packed and somehow it didn't make it and I was wearing these, I would wear these for a marathon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And I think we say some of these other shoes are a good like budget race day shoe if you don't want to spend $250. I think this is actually for someone who's like, oh, I want to try the Plated Life.
You mean if they're carbon curious?
Yeah, carbon curious. Yeah. But I do think that some of the shoes, even the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4 is a little like too daily trainer-ish maybe, like a little too soft. It's like I think this still has performance. Like
I'd agree with you.
Like a little bit more.
It's 9 ounces or so for my size 10.5, which is,
that's
it's in the realm. Like a lot of the like endorphin is like mid 8s.
Yeah.
So it's not like crazy on the weight. So it's in there. I think there's two consumers for this. The person that you're like saying is carbon curious, wants a new race day shoe, maybe doesn't want to bump all the way up to the 250 range or doesn't know, if that's it for them. So this would be a great option to be like, I want that race day feel. I want to try the plate. And the other person is going to be that person that wants to run in trainers all the time, who is buying the Endorphin Speed or buying like the Boston 12, who want that mechanical stiffening agent of a plate or technology.
Yeah.
So it has a place. It's kind of weird in the Asics lineup where I'd throw it because daily miles, I really like the Nova Blast 4.
Yeah. And then Super Blast.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think people too who are going to compare this to Super Blast, I feel like it's a totally different shoe. Like it's not even like, it's not the right realm.
But for me, if I was going to choose between one, and I haven't even put the Super Blast 2 on my feet yet.
Yeah.
I know that Super Blast 2 would probably be my pick over it. I'm fingers crossed that remains. Or is the Super Blast right now, I'd probably take over this shoe without a thought.
Yeah. 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 I'm interested to see the Super Blast 2 for sure. But
this could work for people.
But I did really like the shoe. It's just maybe not what people are going to think it is.
Yeah, that's why, I was trying to figure out where it fits in the lineup because I do like this shoe, but I don't. It's not as compelling. Like I'm trying to. Okay, if I wanted it for a daily trainer with a plate, it's okay. If I want it for race day, I'm obviously have options, and I'm going to go up.
I do think it's like if someone wants a more, I don't know, whatever. What is that feeling that you call a Boston 12? What's that feeling? Because it's not like a springy, bouncy feeling. It's like but it doesn't feel harsh.
Yeah, I don't want to call it firm because it's not firm. It's more spongy. So it absorbs the energy. I don't feel like it's kicking it necessarily back at you hard. But it's definitely easier on the legs. I don't know though. See, that's a weird thing. It had a little bit of bounce on when I was like chasing Megan down.
No,
I was
definitely.
like, okay, you can pick up the pace.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
You have officially confused me and
Just
everyone
watch the
out
shoe.
there. So,
That was us working through it. So maybe watch the full review on YouTube when it comes out.
But that does say something about the shoe that we have to mentally figure it out. It's not like, oh, this is what it is. This is what I'd use it for. This is it. I hate
Yeah. All right.
We've talked in circles long
sleeping.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it for this week.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it.
Hi, Mom.
And all of those that you thought you were coming for a shoe review, sorry.
Suckers.